MANTOOLS is brought to you by
EXO Auto Works. EXO Auto Works is Colorado Springs' home of the $50 synthetic blend oil change. Call now, 719-375-3232, or visit exoautoworks.com to make your appointment.
Madrid Maintenance. Madrid Maintenance offers excellent handyman service in the Colorado Springs area, starting at just $45 an hour. You can reach them by phone at 719-963-2020 or online at facebook.com/Madrid Maintenance.
Enharmonic Studios. Enharmonic Studios is a hybrid digital analog facility designed to be quality and affordable to anyone who wants to make history. Call today, 719-963-2020, or go to facebook.com/Enharmonic Studios.
You can actually see him take the gun out of his boot, pull it up to the shoulder level of Jeff Doucette, and pull the trigger and shoot him.
From EXO Auto Works. Streaming all over the world.
We're coming for you, globalist!
It's your weekly dose of toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity.
With Eric Madrid. And Trevor Lane. It's MANTOOLS.
Hello, everybody. It's a Trevor solo show, apparently. That's okay. We'll still have fun. So that little clip in the intro, for those that are unfamiliar, was I forget when that was, but looks like the late 80s, maybe early 90s. And the dad there, his son was kidnapped by that gentleman that he shot. And that gentleman was a karate instructor who kidnapped his son. And I guess he was going to let justice take its course until his son confided that he had been sexually molested. And then the father was like, nope. Gonna have to give this guy a 38 caliber pill. Which sometimes that's the cure, right? Well, I hope all the dads out there, speaking of fathers, had a great Father's Day. Mine was pretty nice. I got a Best Dad in the World mug. Because, you know, I'm the best dad in the world. No, it was nice. This time of year is always weird because we have so many birthdays and stuff. And Carolyn's birthday is always really close to Father's Day. And this year it was the day before. And then I work Sundays very early in the morning when I'm on day shifts. And I'm on day shifts right now. So we had to do our Father's Day thing. I felt kind of bad because we did it kind of at the tail end of her birthday. But it was nice. I love being a dad. It's good stuff. Well, without any further ado, let's get into the show. And I think we're gonna keep going with this this thing that we started. Well, that's not what I want. I want it like this, where instead of going in a predetermined order for topics that we cover, we're going to spin the wheel of topics. And that will determine what we cover. Sports. All right, let's get into some sports. Sports tonight brought to you by the Bearded Veterans Club. Although the name is a little deceiving. You do not have to be a veteran and you do not have to join a club, but they have excellent beard care items, including if you don't have a beard, they even have vitamins to help you get a beard growing. So check them out at beard.mantoolsmedia.com or use that little QR code right over there and get you some of the best beard care items on the market. Sports this evening, we got some fun stuff. We're going to start with a twist on MMA. Oh, it helps if I share the right screen, doesn't it? A little twist on the MMA. This is a team version of MMA. They have like 3-on-3s, 5-on-5s. I forget what the league's called, but this is pretty wild. Of course, it's an Eastern So there you see it's red trunks versus white trunks.
Tak mówiliśmy, nie ma żadnych liczeń, więc po prostu nie zazdroszczę naszym następcom.
That's wild, isn't it?
Tutaj naprawdę ktoś nie robi się wstrząsienia mózgu. Można troszkę tutaj oszukać i przyklęknąć na kolano, wtedy przeciwnik nie może mieć. Ale pytanie logicznego myślenia.
That's crazy.
Czyli jest po prostu zawodnik pada i staje. Można powiedzieć, że teraz się odmówił jeden zawodnik jest złączony, leży pod klatką. Czyli 2 na 1. Dwóch zawodników z Odrzyka pomimo właściwie zawodnik z Dębicy. I niestety już koniec.
No, I think we have a winning team. I thought that was insane. Like, MMA is pretty wild already, but to do teams, it's just like, yeah, how can we make this even crazier? Well, there you go. That's how. And I'm sure it's a challenge to, with any sport, you got to kind of raise the bar. Well, the bar has been raised, I'd say. And then I call this a sport. Maybe you don't, but I'd say eating like this is athletic. So this is a dude out of Texas who eats a 72-ounce steak in 6 minutes and some change. I think it ends up being 6.5. And for those that are wondering, I did the math. 72 ounces is 4.5 pounds. That's wild.
The second fastest time in Big Texan history.
And he's not even the fastest. Second fastest. That's insane. That is definitely an athletic effort. So I will call that a sport for sure. All right. Let's see what our next topic is. Oh, history. All right. This is a little unusual. It's basically always saved for the end, huh? I like this wheel. I dig it. All right, let's check out the week in his story.
Comes to his end in the gutter, fitting climax to a life.
The first on the flank, get it started. Hit side and it's right.
So the week in his story is brought to you by the historically best investment, Gold. That's right. Gold has always held value throughout all of human history. A close second is silver. And guess what? You can get both of those in an IRA at Noble Gold Investments. And the best way to get that is to go to gold.mantoolsmedia.com or use that little QR code over there. And you can get a free guide to opening a gold-backed IRA. I have one, and it's doing much better than it was doing when that money was in a 401k. I can tell you that. So, and there's, like, even when there are dips, gold doesn't dip like other shit. So, yeah, it's a great asset to have. Not saying you shouldn't have others, just saying you should include some gold, and possibly some silver. So get that from Noble Gold. All right. This week in His Story, we start with June 22nd, 1970. Let's see. Let's share the thing. Excuse me. Goodness. Richard Nixon signs into law the 26th Amendment, which lowers the voting age to 18. I'm not sure if that was a great idea. Yeah. But the flip to that is, I think this was in response to, we had gone through World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, and there were people fighting in those wars who were not allowed to vote. There were people fighting in those wars who couldn't have a beer, depending on which state they came back to. So, in that respect, I can kind of see the logic, but I don't think having every dipshit 18-year-old who feels like it being able to vote now is doing us any favors. Let's see. June 24th, 1964, the Federal Trade Commission announces that starting in 1965, cigarette makers must include warning labels about the harmful effects of smoking. And of course, that would expand to not just cigarettes, all forms of tobacco, of course, have to have that on there. Because for a very brief moment, the what would you call it? Oh, the smokeless tobacco jumped on. Hey, we're perfectly safe. I was like, no, you're not. You can't. Let's see. June 25th, 1876. General George Armstrong Custer and around 260 men of the 7th Cavalry are wiped out by Sioux and Cheyenne Indians at the Little Bighorn in Montana. Custer was an interesting character. If I'm not mistaken, he he was like field promoted to general during the Civil War, and actually wasn't supposed to keep wearing that rank. There's some weird story with that. I'd have to look back into that, but there's something weird that, like, actually he was, on paper he was lieutenant colonel, even though he kept behaving as if he was a general. Which, yeah, okay. Let's see, June 26th, 1917, another general. General Pershing arrives in France with the American Expeditionary Force. Another oddity there. Before General Pershing, there was no such thing as a 5-star general or general of the army. And although Pershing, I don't believe, ever wore the 5-star rank, his new rank of general of the army was created because when he started trying to get involved with the planning and the conduct of a war being allied with European powers, their field marshals, which are outranked generals, were like, get the fuck out of here. You're just a general. And so he needed some a little more weight on his collar, so to speak, to say, no, I'm equivalent to you guys. So, and if you want our help, I'm going to be in this room. So that was kind of the deal. Let's see, June 27th, 1929. Scientists at Bell Laboratories in New York reveal a system for transmitting pictures, which of course would be eventually called the television. And look at that tiny, tiny screen. Woo! Yep. It, of course, evolved a lot from there. And finally, June 28th, 1976, a little herstory. The first women are admitted to the United States Air Force Academy. Of course, there you can see they coming in 76. They were the class of 80. So that's pretty cool. And some local history, because obviously the Air Force Academy is here in Colorado Springs. But yeah, that brings us to the end of the week in history, but not the end of our show as it usually does. We have some more show left, thanks to the Wheel of Topics. So we're going to pay some bills real quick, and then we will spin on, literally. We'll be right back.
So on my way over here, my brakes made an awful noise, and the last time I got them done, it was so expensive.
You should go to EXO Auto Works. They did a great job on mine, and it was way cheaper than anywhere else I've been.
That sounds great. I need to get their number from you.
At EXO Auto Works, we offer the best price on brake service in town. We include brand new brake pads, rotors, and hardware, which saves you money and gets you on the road faster. See our website for a full list of our services. Call EXO Auto Works today.
Who ate all the macaroni and cheese? Look, Cheddar Goblin! Cheddar Goblin, did you eat all the macaroni and cheese?
Nothing's better than cheddar.
Cheddar Goblin. Cheddar Goblin! Cheddar Goblin! Cheddar Goblin!
Cheddar Goblin by Devane has 60% more cheese than the next leading brand. Kids and goblins agree, Cheddar Goblin tastes the best. That's why Cheddar Goblin was rated #1 3 years in a row. Cheddar Goblin by Devane. It's goblin good.
That one was fucking weird, wasn't it? All right. Ooh. Yep. Let's see where our next topic is from the Wheel of Topics. All right, cool stuff coming right up. Cool stuff, of course, is brought to you by our friends at Top Extracts Premium Kratom. If you don't know what kratom is, you should go to kratom.mantoolsmedia.com and learn some more and get yourself some, because it's pretty good. You got aches and pains, helps with that. Feeling fatigued, a low dose can give you a little pick-me-up. Having trouble sleeping, a high dose can help you do that. So check them out now at kratom.mantoolsmedia.com, or again, use that little QR code over there if you're watching the video. Cool stuff this week. We start with, I thought this was great. I'm glad to see that the old racist ribbing is still alive and well. This is an exchange I found on Instagram, although I believe it happened on Twitter, between a black fella and I think he's Asian. Maybe he's just white. I don't know. But I got a kick out of this. So, obviously, from the black fella, imagine having to wear a sunscreen. And they go back and forth like this for quite a while. White guy, imagine having to travel for clean water. And I'm guessing the black guy must be in Africa. The black guy, imagine being genetically predisposed to have a small willy. White guy, imagine having a life expectancy of less than 30. Holy shit. Black guy, imagine the spiciest food you can tolerate being salt. White guy, imagine the best footwear in your village being a pair of sandals. Black guy, imagine being genetically predisposed to start balding at 25. White guy, imagine being genetically predisposed to support Manchester United. Black guy, imagine having an easily breakable nose. Black guy, imagine not showering every day and thinking that's normal. White guy, imagine relying on £1 a month from people in first world countries. Black guy, imagine your national food being mashed potatoes and vegetables. White guy, imagine dreaming about eating mashed potatoes and vegetables for once instead of goat and rice. Black guy, imagine being able to jump or not being able to jump. White guy, imagine not being able to swim. Black guy, imagine having no sense of rhythm. White guy, imagine your sense of rhythm originating from working in a cotton field. Black guy, imagine having to use a pair of scissors to cut your hair. Black guy, imagine your father and uncle being the same person. White guy, imagine your ribcage being your most prominent feature. Black guy, imagine needing pharmaceutical assistance to sustain an erection. White guy, imagine your willy needing 90% of your body's blood to get an erection. Black guy, imagine having a genetic predisposition to lactose intolerance. He really likes the genetic predisposition jokes. White guy, that was terrible. I'm calling halftime. Black guy, I laughed my fucking ass off. Are we going to switch sides or what? White guy goes, I'm starting to run out of jokes. Black guy goes, same. Maybe one day we'll revisit. And the white guy says, this is what MLK died for. Then the black guy put up, of course, Spy versus Spy, where one is black and one is white. That gave me hope. Really did. All right. Spinning on in cool stuff. Oh, this is awesome. So these guys obviously are trying to use a grinder to cut, or a cutting wheel, I guess, to cut this hunk of metal that's protruding from this wall. They can't quite reach it, so they're just holding onto the cord. And they have the grinder running and just kind of keep dipping it up and down up against it until it's gone. They did it. That's pretty wild.
This is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. This is like the eighth wonder of the world. Repel Dale, that's you? When you said you had a grinder profile, this ain't what I thought you was talking about. Keep grinding, brother. Something like that. All right, then.
All right. And then finally in cool stuff, this has to be one of the greatest job site pranks ever. So this guy attached a little stuffed mouse to, looks like kind of like a toilet snake. He's feeding it in through a pipe, which comes out where this guy's working and scares the shit out of him. That was awesome. All right. Let's see where the wheel of topics takes us next. All right, to the news. All right. This week in the news. Sorry, I didn't get my... I got discombobulated on that one. As you'll see from the news, it pays to be prepared. And a great way to be prepared is to have some emergency food. Some long-lasting, guaranteed to last 25 years food from Valley Food Storage. And the best place to get that is to go to prepare.mantoolsmedia.com, or again, use that little QR code over there. And get you some food. So this week, we start with a heartwarming Father's Day story. A dad fatally shot an intruder who accosted his young daughter in the backyard on Father's Day. Could you imagine having to do that on Father's Day? North Carolina dad shot and killed an intruder who reportedly threatened his young daughter at their home on Father's Day, according to local authorities. Members of the Wilson's Mill Police Department and deputies with the Johnston County Sheriff's Office responded to the home at about 9 p.m. on Sunday over a report of a breaking and entering in progress with someone shot. Wilson's Mills Police Chief A.Z. Williams said the suspect entered the home's backyard on Sunday evening as the owner's children were playing outside. The suspect reportedly accosted the father's 11-year-old daughter, spurring her and two other children to run into the home and alert the parents. The suspect tried to follow the kids into the house by aggressively pulling on the home's back door handle. Jesus. And that's when the dad fatally shot the intruder. Good for him. The suspect has not yet been identified, with authorities only revealing that he was 23 years old. What the fuck? Williams said the case appears to be one of a father protecting his family. The father did not know the suspect. But that's what you should do as a dad. Besides grow a beard and know things. So good for him. I'm glad he had the capability and wherewithal to handle that situation and protect his family. That's exactly what a dad needs to do. Oh. I don't think it's a solo show anymore. All right, I know he's here. We'll give him a minute to come up. In the meantime, we'll spin on with the news. Out of Quebec, Canada, I was a little surprised by this. A man who was sexually assaulted by his wife has qualified for victim compensation under one of their weird little tribunals. Yeah, shit. We're getting weather. Tribunal has found that a Quebec man who became a father after he was sexually assaulted by his wife qualifies for payments from the Provincial Fund for Victims of Crime. The province's administrative tribunal was asked to rule whether the man should receive the compensation given to someone who supports a child born of sexual assault. Sounds to me like he should. And they, at least surprisingly to me, ruled in his favor. There he is. What's up, buddy?
What's up, pal? You've been on the air, so you haven't heard the severe thunderstorm warnings for Peyton.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I do hear something going on outside now.
They had us all pulled over.
Oh, shit.
It's coming down so bad with hail.
That sucks.
Like, I was like, ugh.
So they're like, here, stay still in it so it
Yeah, like here.
you can get hit more.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the other argument is if you're moving, that compounds the speed at which you're being hit, I suppose. But
it's not just that. It's just people wrecking their cars in the street. And
that's also a factor.
Yeah. On the highway. Pulling over, we're just changing lanes. No, you can't see the lanes. It's bad. It's bad.
It was super bad. So we were getting into some news. I just talked about a dad in one of the Carolinas. Now I forget, north or south, who shot a dude on Father's Day, who came into their backyard, accosted his daughters, and then they ran in, and he kept tugging at the back door and wouldn't leave. So Dad eventually was like, if you don't leave, I'm going to shoot you. Bang.
At least he gave him a warning.
Well, I didn't. I pulled that out of my ass. I don't know if the article just said because he kept tugging on the door aggressively, the dad shot him.
Yeah.
Because otherwise the headline is like, dude came in the backyard and just got shot, which
That's not what happened.
That's not what happened.
Not even close.
But that's a good dad.
It's a good dad.
Yeah.
Like owned. He wins Father's Day.
Yeah.
For protecting the kids.
Kind of like our intro dad. I know you weren't here, but we've covered it before. The dad whose son was kidnapped and molested by his karate teacher, and then as they're leading him through the airport because they found him in another state, he's hanging out at a payphone and just pulls up a pistol and boom. It's like, yes.
You don't get to play no more.
Yeah, and I guess that dude was going to let the justice system do its thing until his son went, he touched me. He's like, oh, which I don't know why you would assume that didn't happen or give anyone the benefit of the doubt. If you kidnap somebody, there must be something you want to do with them.
Yeah, there's a
charge a ransom or something.
Extras happening.
So, and then we're on this story out of Quebec where a man was had a child with his wife due to her forcibly having sex with him. And surprisingly, at least to me, in this day and age, got because Quebec has probably all of Canada has some kind of, if you're a victim of pretty much any crime, you get money.
Oh,
so
okay.
He's getting money because he is the victim of a crime.
Okay.
A nice flip to the stories we have here, where like a teen gets molested by a teacher who becomes pregnant, and they go, "You owe child support." And he's like, "But
wait a minute.
Wait. Wasn't that totally illegal? Yep. Sure was.
Sure was.
Pay up.
Ooh.
So yeah, that was yep.
It's a thing.
Yep. I guess officials who oversee the fund had denied his request, and this is the results of it appeals to a tribunal, and the tribunal went, no, he qualifies. That is being a victim of a crime. Just because he has a penis does not make him
Automatically not a victim.
Yeah, automatically not, or even worse, automatically the aggressor. I would imagine he probably had some trouble with proving the sexual assault to begin with because of that. Oh, and then we have this little gem of the dirty old man in chief.
Right? This guy.
Oh, by the way, did you know? So, little backstory. This is an event with Eva Longoria, who, of course, is a smoke show. Everybody knows. So I can't really blame him per se. But she's promoting a movie called Flaming Hot about the this Mexican dude who was attributed with coming up with the idea. And I guess it's been completely debunked. Like, it's totally not a true story. But she went, I don't care. It's a fun movie.
Well, yeah, it's a fun movie, but don't bill it as a true story.
Yeah. So anyways. Sorry.
Thank you, and the entire cast and crew and everyone involved. Long time. Known each other a long time. She was 17, I was 40. That's it.
So I don't know if you could catch that comment.
The entire cast.
He's like, I've known her for a long time. She was 17 and I was 40. It's like, what?
What?
That sounds inappropriate.
Crew and everyone involved. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And then he comes in for this and tries to do the, let me just swipe the boot. Oh, nope.
Let me swipe your booby. Oh, yeah. No, let me your
She's
hands.
like, no, I know that move.
You've been doing that to me since I was 17.
Apparently.
God damn, dude. At least do it on the non-camera side.
Right?
Jesus.
Or wait until there aren't cameras. See, here's what I think is happening. He's not, because he hasn't been president before, he's not used to the cameras being on him all the time. Like, even when he was VP, or of course in the Senate, there was no one, there wasn't a camera in his face all the time, but it's like, now there's always, are you like in the shitter of the White House? No, then there's a camera.
Yeah. Wow. What a guy.
Yeah.
Goes in for the boob sweep. That was bad. Blatantly bad.
Yeah. Let's see. Sorry, I'm not on news because I'm using the wheel of topics.
Wheel of toppings.
Oh, here we go. This comes out of the UK. Kind of surprising to me. Nope, I skipped it. Well, either way, a similar thing. It's still some trans.
Excuse me, it's
And finally, this was a disturbing story to me because I haven't heard anything about it here, and I would think we would suffer something similar. Wyoming is preparing for a severely restricted hunting season after 80% of their adult deer died off. Because I wanted to get down to why it happened. A harsh winter. So I was like, shouldn't that be similar here? I mean, I know we're not exactly the same, but could their winter actually be that much more harsh?
Yeah. If you get the, if they went drought last fall, right? So they didn't fatten up. And here we are. Yeah.
But 80% of the adult
a
deer,
lot.
that's wild. But I mean, I think it sounds like they're doing the right thing, and like, it sounds like it's going to be like finding gold in the river to get a mule deer tag up there. So, but
500.
yeah, I guess another big thing was pneumonia.
Wow.
Hit the pronghorns. That's just nuts, though.
Well, that's the thing. Humans encroaching on wild lands. Hunting is that's a necessity, and you gotta curb it when you gotta curb it.
Oh, I wasn't even showing the article.
Well, some deer.
Well, there you go. You know what deer look like?
What deer look like? You know what Wyoming's flag looks like?
There's less of them.
There's less of those. Those are the only 2 left in Wyoming. They're like, we get to fuck all them bitches.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be that'll be an interesting season this fall.
Yeah.
Huh. Wonder if I could sell my tag to a Wyoming guy for a shitload of money.
Oh, to come down here?
Yeah.
You know what? If they price it beyond a non-resident tag down here, I bet you a lot of people will go, well, it's cheaper for me to just get a tag down in Colorado as a non-resident and come down there.
Yep. We need to set up a guide. Yeah. Be like, no, $100. Tell you where they're at. Over there. Give me your $100.
Just come to my backyard.
Yeah. Trevor's Urban Deer Emporium.
Dude, I would feed my family quite well if
down
I
in
could get away with that.
in your neck of the woods, and then the other part of town that's mountainish. On the other side of town.
I saw across the street a deer
yeah.
in somebody's yard. I mean, it was, it's just...
Well, the Peregrine Way, like, we'd be working on sprinklers. They'd just sit there in the yard and watch you. I was like, God damn, if I had a hammer, it just doink! Steaks.
As he stares at you like, huh?
Oh, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Well, bam.
That's shiny.
That's shiny.
Well, let's see what our next topic is.
The wheel of topics.
There's only 2 left, and I think I only have stories under 1.
Oh, well, then, guess what?
Might have to spin twice. Tools Week it is.
Nice.
Good. I'm glad, because the other one I don't have any stories for this week. All right.
Are you there, bud?
No. Okay, I found it. So we start with an actual tool. By the way, Tools of the Week, of course, is brought to you by ACME Tools. Father's Day sale is unfortunately over, but they still have some good deals going on. So check them out at acmetools.mantoolsmedia.com or use that little QR code over there. We start with an actual, what if you don't have the tool?
What if you don't have the tool?
And in this case, if you don't have your caulk gun.
Caulk?
Well, if you have that thing.
That's pretty ingenious, I'm not going to lie.
You now have a caulk gun.
Pretty damn ingenious.
Clever.
Super clever. Never using my caulk gun again.
Well, let's get into some people who are tools. We'll start with the LA Dodgers. I don't know if it was directly in response to this, but just because I wanted a little white pill in there. Josh Hawley talked about the epidemic of fatherlessness on Father's Day. And a quote from that: "Men are told all the time that being a man is toxic." Yep. That if you're a man, you make the world a worse place, and that fathers are irrelevant. What the left has said to men, it's more than the left, but okay. For really, I would call it the administrative state, I guess. The ruling class.
Sure.
I think. I don't think it's as simple as left versus right
political. No, same bird.
Generations now, 20, 30 years, is that to be a man is to be toxic. That if you're a man, you're a terrible influence. You are making the world a worse place just by being you. I think we have to send the opposite message that we need men to be strong. We need men to take on responsibility. We need them to be protectors and providers and to live in a sacrificial way that empowers other people. And I would agree. Yep. And I think, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn to say you were raised by a single mom. Would your situation have been improved with a dad?
It would have been very different.
And I mean, obviously, I'm saying a good dad. Like,
yeah, because I had a stepdad for a minute.
A shithead that just sticks around isn't necessarily,
I could show you some of those scars. The other half are deeply buried behind alcoholism and pitted rage. Yeah, it would have been a lot different. There would have been, I don't know. I think I've said this before. My mom did a good job of finding us some pretty good role models in the community. To get out the boy stuff.
Yeah.
So, no, it would have been a lot better. There'd be those. You'd have the old man stories. How you had to drive there in 3 hours and 15 seconds and beat the maps.
Well, I always just think about I think I would have been just a huge fragile pussy without my dad, to be honest.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how, and I'm not trying to say I'm some big tough guy now, but
just
dude,
the life stuff.
I think if I'd be like, I can't imagine how whiny and fucking,
not letting the little stuff slide, just being very, you'd be far more tied to your emotions and let them come out.
And I'd be a lot more concerned with comfort.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm not comfortable.
You'd play with a thermostat a lot more.
That's true.
You wouldn't know where you would want to eat ever.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's go down that road. I don't know. You'd probably have some dude come over and do your hair.
And then here's what I love.
You drink a lot more wine than beer.
Although this term doesn't get thrown around a lot, but you remember metrosexuals?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I always thought it was hilarious. I guess hilarious isn't quite the right word, but I found it intriguing or odd. Those hairstyles that came out where you knew that they spent a shitload of time and put a shitload of products in there to look like they had just got out of bed, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
It's just why didn't you just
roll out of bed?
Why didn't you just try getting out of bed?
Yeah.
And
that's pretty hilarious. Yeah, the whole metrosexual thing died a horrible death.
Rightly so.
Yeah, that was fun. Fun and not fun.
I do want to cover this thing that I missed though, so I'm going to go ahead and Google this.
He's a
and
Googleins.
We'll pop it up.
Oh boy.
So earlier this week, yeah, go away.
It's not going away.
All right, well, awesome. This is why I like to print the things.
For sure.
So earlier this week, Grimes, the musician, pop star, whatever she is, I know her mostly as Elon Musk's ex-wife and like father of 3 of his 7 kids, or I mean mother of 3 of his 7 kids, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Well, so when I heard this, it didn't surprise me coming from that.
Okay.
So this BBC chick, I want to get down to like the situation. Oh, here we go. We got video.
Oh, let's do that. Loading the ad. We'll talk over that. So.
Yeah.
Oh.
Here we go. Last month, she was at the International Music Summit in Ibiza. And spoke to BBC One's Jaguar Bingham. Here we go.
Daily motivation, smash the patriarchy. Like, for example, for me, like, wake up in the morning, daily motivation, smash the patriarchy. You know.
I kind of like the patriarchy. Like,
What do you like about it?
I like the supply chain, food, Uber, roads, civilization. You know, like, there's a lot of good things that came from.
Wow.
So, if you couldn't hear it, which I you know, it wasn't that great, but the reporter said her daily motivation, she's asking about motivation, I guess, is to smash the patriarchy. And then
Shut up. Apparently they want us to know about that sale.
And then, as you could see with that face, she was surprised to hear Grimes come back with, I kind of like the patriarchy. And as she named supply chain, food, Uber, roads, civilization.
Kind of like how it works, she says.
I like those things. So like I said, I wasn't, because I know her as Elon Musk's former, I forget if they were actually married, but whatever, she mothered several of his children, and he has like 10 kids. So, and he's an entrepreneur and clearly one of the faces of the patriarchy, I guess, in terms of building shit and making shit, which is why I think she was like,
no,
this isn't that bad. Patriarchy isn't that bad.
Yeah. I would wager he still, supports that band habit. Yeah.
So, yeah, I just wanted to, I don't know. So I'm calling, in case you're wondering why this is in Tool of the Week, I'm calling that Jaguar chick a tool. Because she throws out this, like...
buzzword.
Yeah. Buzz phrase.
Yeah.
And
expects
just
everybody...
assumes everyone agrees with it.
Yep.
And
you all agree with it. This is how we're doing it.
It kind of shatters her mind that someone has a different worldview, or at least that much different. There's almost a wait. I thought you were one of us.
Wait. Oh, wait. I thought it's girl power, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then finally, we have another tool. I like this when we can cover tools. In the tool
Yeah, right?
week.
I was working on that. So, I've had to do this back in the day out on the Jefferson Ranch. Works great. Check it out. Even if you have a Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you have to have a
ratchet strap.
A wheel and hub that has a hole in it.
Well, yeah, I mean most of them do.
Yeah.
Especially on trucks. And then if you're super fucking clever, you can just ratchet it to the tire itself, and it'll. You can get 2 of them and get out of there pretty quick, like.
Oh yeah, I guess you could. Yeah.
Yeah, it works out good. You sacrifice a ratchet, but you're gonna do that 9 times out of 10. You're getting yourself out of a ditch.
Right, that's true.
You're gonna sacrifice something. So.
Well,
that was a good one.
That brings us to the end of the show.
Sad days.
Unfortunately.
Sad days. There's nothing pissing us off. It's not true.
Not this week.
It's not true. There's plenty.
Not enough
Fucking
to bring up
plenty.
here.
Fucking plenty. I have. Hopefully, we have aliens by the end of the month.
Okay.
Wasn't that the thing?
Aliens?
Yeah, man. We got all kinds of declassified papers happening.
Okay.
We got generals coming out saying they've seen shit. Got whistleblowers getting Clintoned. It's fucking terrible. It's the thing. Well, all right. Let's see what the fuck is happening this weekend. Well, in June of 1976. Wait, I'm reading the wrong. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. But congratulations to women who entered the Air Force this year, 46 years ago or whatever. But this Saturday, 8:30, Rockin' at Legends Bar will be River Bottom and I believe No Through Traffic. So that should be a fun evening of dirty whiskey-soaked rock and roll. It's going to be a good time. It's the best kind. Locals are MANTOOLS at the Movies, Bigorexia Part 2, which was a sad fucking movie, I'm not going to lie. That kind of hurting all the feels. It's out now with all of our commentary and I don't know, whatever. Comments and commentary. It's redundant. But you get all of that, even in redundancy, for only $3 a month by joining mantoolsminions.locals.com. Check out the reading assignment for this month's episode. Take the TED pill, which will come out next week. So if you see us wearing the same clothes as tonight, there's a reason. Get our merch at merch.mantoolsmedia.com. We have a new one. It's called Leg Day.
That's right. I'll already pop that up.
We're going to pop that up. It's called Leg Day. Bam. So.
If you want to be legendary, you can't skip Leg Day.
There it is. ManToolsMedia.com. Don't skip Leg Day. Remember, cardio.
I hate cardio.
I know, but that's what keeps you going. You can get free shipping on any of our merch for joining our Facebook group and 20% off if you're a Locals member. So, thank you to our sponsors. Find all of our glorious sponsors at sponsors.mantoolsmedia.com, which I'm wearing some Mungatas right now. Fuck yes. I'm super comfortable in the crotch right now. It's nice. I'm not even man-spreading. Don't have to.
All right.
Pouch is perfect. Thank you for watching and or listening wherever you take in your podcast, wherever you consume this. And if you're watching this show, you are absolutely no stranger to crippling disappointment. Thank you for watching. Check us out at mantoolsmedia.com, links.co/mantoolsmedia. We'll see you next week.
Good night, everybody. Am I supposed to come up with a time for this to happen? Let's end the stream.
Hey!